Hey everyone, it's Simon from Higher Plane Games with a review of Arcade Spirits. This is a visual novel that came out on PC earlier this week, and thank you to PCube for sending across a copy for me to take a look at for review. Really appreciate it, although it doesn't change my opinion on the game itself. This is, as I said, a visual novel with optional romantic extras should you want them. The whole premise of this, which is what intrigued me, is that this game takes place in an arcade machine in like an alternative world where the games crash in the 80s never really happened, and so we're in the future, but there's still a lot of love for arcade malls, and me being a child remembering playing Dance Dance Revolution with my big fat moobs remembers this time fondly, so I was in it. You play as a person that has joined as a new member of staff in this arcade facility, so you need to basically manage your relationships with the staff around you, the patrons that come in every day, and also have your own kind of through story that you manipulate as you go through depending on how you play the game. For me, Arcade Spirits and where it pulls its massive strengths, apart from its story, which I'm not going to spoil, and all of the gameplay in here is purposefully in the first chapter of the game as to not to spoil anything, is in its customization. Arcade Spirits lets you customise your own character from the outset, so you can give it name, obviously, hairstyle, skin tone, hair colour, eye colour, and also, I remember this being a thing when it was originally announced, your pronoun, so you can be he or she or they if you really want to as well. The interesting thing about that, though, is that the customization then starts to show your character in certain scenes, so you can see yourself actually in the story, and it's such a small thing, but it really makes a difference for you connecting and feeling part of the story and part of the game itself. Alongside that, though, is also the ability to basically customize your story experience. You can pretty much choose to just go for platonic and workman-like professional relationships, or half of the staff in this, or on half of the characters in the game, are actually romanceable, but you don't need to, and you don't have to even go anywhere near that section of the game if you don't want to, and you're just there for a juicy story. So if you love your otome type games, then go nuts with that. But I personally am not a massive fan of that genre, so I was more than happy to just choose the person I was going to play with the romance with just to see how that worked, but enjoyed the story itself. Now, one of the things that really did pull me into Arcade Spirits is its iris system, essentially. So part of the main story, and this isn't spoiling anything because it's literally the opening scene, is you get given this life coach app which is busy monitoring all of your answers to different questions and crisis situations that happen during your job or relationships as the story progresses. And your answers that you deal with fall into 5 categories, and you can choose whether or not you want those categories to be visually shown to you, or whether or not you're just mucking about and choosing your answers based blindly. Those 5 character and personality traits are quirky, steady, kind, gutsy, and basic. And essentially, how you respond to other people's questions and answers, and taking in either their personality into account or the situation into account, will then either score your personality in one of those 5 traits, or level up and down how much that character likes or loves you, or if they just don't like you at all. And I really liked that, because that screen of the relationships is shown, and you can access it at any time during the actual story itself, but it's shown at the end of each chapter, and I was like, I must have really annoyed that person because I responded in that way, or I dealt with that crisis in X or Y way. And the beauty of it is that all of these different decisions, quite often you only have the ability to deal with a couple of them, and a couple of them will be left by the wayside. So you'll start to prioritise the people that you like, or the people that you've ignored before. And you can very much play it as yourself, or you can basically take on a character trait and be like, do you know what, I'm just going to be kind to everyone, or I'm going to be argumentative to everyone, or I'm just going to say wacky stuff, and everyone will be like, what is up with you? So I really like the way how that works, and also how the responses come back to you as a result of that from the characters and how you work. And it's subtle because it just might be adding mate or love into the actual sentences themselves, but it makes a difference because you can actually see the progression of each relationship or the decline of each relationship as you go through the game. In terms of story, I'm not going to spoil it. It's very much actually, you can set sail your story quite early on in some of the opening questions that you get in the game, but it's a nice, warm-hearted story of not so much redemption, but of finding yourself and becoming yourself and your own person and following your dreams. And I see nothing wrong with that whatsoever. The voice acting, whilst it doesn't voice act all of the text that comes up on the screen, key scenes are voice acted, and the voice acting across the board is fantastic. In particular, and I have to give a shout out to them, Graham Stark, who plays Ben, and Jacob Burgess, who plays Matt. They are a gay couple that run the cafe that's just opposite, the cafe / bookstore, and there is a sitcom waiting for those two where they just gaily finish each other's sentences and have a whale of a time. I would watch that in a heartbeat. So, yeah, all in all, real good thumbs up. As I said before, I'm not great on visual novels quite a lot of the time. They have to really pull me in with some hooks. But the ability to customize everything, along with this iris system, which essentially is like a personality chart, I found really intriguing, kept me going, alongside the story itself and some of the nerdy references that come out from it. I give this definitely 2 thumbs up, one of the best visual novels that I've played in quite a long time. Hope that was informative. Any questions, pop them in the comments below, and hopefully I'll catch you again. Bye for now. This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.